What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Work Knife Balance. We've got not one, not two, but three knives in a series that we're going to be taking a look at today. And I'm pretty excited. These things are pretty special and very unique. So let's go ahead and head to the top down and see what we got. All right. Before we get too far, I want to go ahead and say thank you to anybody who's already liked and subscribed to the channel. If you haven't, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. You can also head over to Instagram and follow us at WorkKnifeBalance939. We don't post a ton, but it's the best way to communicate with us. Let us know what you want to see. And if you send us something for review, we'll send you back one of the new stickers and some sweet swag just to say thank you. So if you saw the recent unboxing that I did over Father's Day weekend, we are going to be taking a look at the three Real Steels that came through that. This is the Real Steel Lux Series. So we have the Luna, the Stella, and the Solus Lux here. These are some new slip joints from Real Steel, and they are pretty fantastic and very unique because they are all made of G10. They are complete G10 with the exception of the blade steel and the blade coatings and all that stuff and everything. So even the back springs on these things are G10. So that's pretty cool in my opinion. I think it's something that I've never seen before with the exception of these knives. So we're going to go ahead and open up. This is the Solus we're going to get started with. We will do some measurements on each of them, and then we're going to compare them to each other, and I'll pull out a couple knives at the end that we'll compare to. But I kind of wanted to just get into this. Yeah, so this is the Solus right here. Super lightweight, really good construction. You do have a kind of like European half stop or European quarter stop. So it's not a half stop straight up and down, but it's at that kind of 45-degree angle coming up from the close, which makes it nice so when you're closing, it actually stops here, and then you can actually do the one-handed close a lot easier. You don't have to worry about hitting halfway through and getting the side of your finger, which happens on slip joints sometimes. Because it has that little quarter stop through, you can actually do the one-handed close a lot easier on that. So thought that was pretty cool, and that's, I believe, if I remember correct, on all of them. This Solus is a purple G10 with a K110 blade. And it says right there, really small, you can see the K110 blade. And then these are PVD coated too as well. So Real Steel did a PVD coating on these blades, which I thought was nice, helps with the corrosion resistance a little bit. And then the HRC comes in at 59 to 60 on these. So you have a really good HRC with all of these, and having that PVD coating is just going to help with that corrosion resistance on the K110, which is pretty epic. The Solus is probably my second favorite of the three that came out. I do love the fact that they are all G10 and absolutely super lightweight, including the clip right here, which is G10. The one thing you can't do is you can't reverse the clip. So this one is not ambidextrous. You can't reverse the clip over to the other side. But the fact that it is a slip joint with a clip is pretty cool, because I do like carrying slip joints. I end up putting them in a clip slip or just like in a slip in my pocket sometimes, which is totally okay. But every once in a while, if you just want to carry one knife, or you want to not have your knife dangling around in your pocket and just kind of making things up, you can actually messing things up, you can actually have a clip to put it on. So that's pretty cool. The other thing that's great is these come in at a ridiculously fantastic price. All of these right now are going to be going around $45 to $48. I've seen them as expensive as $60, but you can get them under $50, which is pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead and set this one to the side. That was the Solus. Next, we're going to go ahead and dive into the Luna real quick. And after I get all three of them out here, then we'll do the measurements and side-by-sides. I just kind of wanted to get all of them out of the box and here available for you to see a little bit better. And they all have a couple different colors that come with them as well. So this one has the Solus, the Stella, no, the Solus has the purple, but there's also a white and a black, I believe, or there's a couple different colors for all of them: green, white, black, purple, blue. So you can kind of see a couple different variations. This is the Luna. This was my least favorite of the three. It is also the smallest feeling of the three, so it feels the smallest in hand, and you'll see when we set them side by side that it actually looks the smallest as well. The blade is really nice. I like the blade, but it's not my favorite design. And I like my slip joints to have something a little more like a sheep's foot or a Warney blade style. So the fact that this one had more of that straight back drop point wasn't necessarily my favorite. But I do love the fact that all of them have this really long fuller to pull at the top, and you can see the same thing right here. This is still going to be the K110 that we had on the other one. All of them are actually going to be K110 with the PVD coating. And all of them are going to be from Poltergeist Works Designs. So these are going to be slip joints from Poltergeist Works Designs, which is a custom maker that this last year has been putting out a couple things with a few different brands. Real Steel, Boker, a couple others out there, and then Poltergeist actually has their own customs that they do as well that you can pick up from them. So yeah, same thing. We've got a G10 backspacer, which is unheard of and just super epic. The pull on all of these is going to be pretty good. The walk and talk on all these is surprisingly well for a G10 finish. And this one has a lanyard hold at the end versus the lanyard hold at the top there. Still has the G10 clip to move along with this one. So this is going to be the smallest of the three. This is going to be the Luna. I'll set that one at the top. And last but not least, this was my favorite of the three right here. After having them for a while, I kind of went back and forth between them, but this one was my favorite of the three. This is the Solus. So I will say the one thing I like about this is you have a really drawn out drop point, so it feels more like a warranty, but the handle in this one. The handle in this one is the largest handle. It fits the best in my hand. It's a really good ergonomic. It's a really good grip. All the rest of the stuff is pretty similar. You still have the K110, you still have the PVD coating, you still have all G10, so it's really lightweight. You do have the long fuller grab. You have this little kind of indentation off the pivots here, which actually gives a really good spot to index and hold and feel. And then you have a really good feel because of this kind of swoop and this kind of I don't know. It's a really good anchoring spot on the backside for your fingers, and it really kind of cradles into your hand right there. Rests and cradle into the hand right there and kind of locks in place, which is really nice, and I like that about this one quite a bit. So, and I think this one has some of the easiest pull because of that. So the blade's sticking out a little bit more, and you can actually pull a lot easier. And then all of them, like I said, are going to have that quarter stop, so you can easily get in there, do that, and then come down and lock it with one hand. So yeah, this is my favorite of the three. This is the Stella. This one is the one that you will probably see in my collection soon. But yeah, we'll go ahead and pull them from side by side. I guess from largest to smallest. On the bottom is the largest. It's going to be the Stella. Then we've got the Solus in the middle. And then we have the Luna up top. And you can see that the Luna and the Solus are very close in size. I think, at least it feels like the Solus is slightly bigger in hand. Just the way it's all fits together and everything. They have very similar styles to them. They both have kind of chamfering around the edges, ergos to them, which are really nice and everything. But the Solus just feels a little bit larger in hand, and it could because that blade feels larger when you're using it. But there is all three of the Lux series from Real Steel. To give you some side-by-side comparisons, we'll go ahead and pull out the one slip joint that I've got here right now. This is going to be the QSP Hedgehog. We're going to put that up top. We'll pull out a Nafslander 2, put that down below. We'll go ahead and get a Kaiser Veritas, put that down below. Got a little sticker right there. Go ahead and get the Civivi Elementum. This will be another one, smaller one, kind of fits middle in that size right there as well. So you can see these are going to kind of be Elementum or Pyrite size, because here is the Warney Pyrite. They're going to feel much thinner than the Elementum, and they're going to feel thinner than the Pyrite in hand. And they're incredibly lightweight, but they're definitely going to be in that kind of mid-compact, small compact size as you go through. At the top with the Luna, we have just over 6.5 on the overall and 2.75 on the blade length, with about 2.6 on the cutting edge. For the Solus, we have just over 6.5, well, about 6.6 on the overall length, with about 2.8 on the blade length and 2.75 on the cutting edge. And then last but not least, we have the Stella, which is just over 7 inches overall length, with 3 inches on the blade and just under 3, say 2.8 on the cutting edge there. So the Stella is definitely the largest, and it feels the best in hand personally. All of them have a really good walk and talk. All of them have a really good pull. I will say the Luna, that pull, it's really hard to verify. And if I give you a number and say like, hey, this pull is a 5 or a 6, without you pulling it and being able to classify yourself where it feels, it's an easy pull, but it feels good. And I'm going to say it's about a 4, 3.5 to 4. The Solus is going to be about a 3.5 as well. And then the Stella is going to be closer to that 4, a little bit more than the other two. And I don't know if that's because of the design of this or the way that it that back spring just locks in there with the G10 is maybe a little bit different. But that's that. I will put links to these below. If they're Amazon links, they do support our channel. If they're not, they're just for you to check out some cool knives. But I've been talking to you and rambling on for long enough. So until next time, TTFN.